memorandum of association, what is article of association, directors, member, winding up, etc. So these are the syllabus of your Company Act. Okay, now let's start with the definition portion of the Company Act. Okay, one by one we will study. What is this? What is abridged prospectus? What is abridged? So guys, what is prospectus? Prospectus is basically, you can say that, the brochure of any company, that is called prospectus. And what is abridged prospectus? Abridged means in which the guidelines are given by the SEBI. A very important. What is this? The guidelines are given by the SEBI. This is called abridged prospectus. A very important. Done. What is appellant tribunal? If any dispute of the company, always come NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal. So in National Company Law Tribunal, if we are not satisfied with the decision of this, we can go to the NCLAT, that is National Company Law Appellant Tribunal. So this is your appellant tribunal. Got it? Now, next, what is article? We know that in company there are two important documents. What are the two important documents? Memorandum of Association and Article of Association, right? So what is Article of Association? That is basically which talks about the internal, internals, rules and regulations of company. This is called Article of Association. What is this? Basically, which talks about the internals, rules and regulations of the company. This is called Article of Association. Done. What is associate company? Associate company means, suppose X company is there. And I'm also going to highlight the things so that you can easily understand. Abridged prospectus is important. Appellant tribunal is important. This is important. This is important. And what is associate company? Suppose X company is Mahindra. X company is Mahindra. And there is a Y company. Y company is Tech Mahindra. Y company is, guys, Tech Mahindra. Right now? So, X company have taken the share of Y at least up to 49%, not more than 49%. Whether X company will take 20%, 30%, 40%, but not more than 49%. If that shares come under this company, so Tech Mahindra is called as the associate company. This is very important. Tech Mahindra is called class as a associate company. Right? Now, what is authorized capital? Authorized capital means that is the maximum amount of share capital of a company. What is this? Maximum amount of share capital. Suppose 500 share company have given, and whatever the amount that is coming by selling the 500 share, this is called authorized capital. Okay? Banking company, which is defined under the Banking Regulation Act. That is so simple. Banking company. Okay? What is board of directors? That is the collective body of directors of a company. This is called board of director. See? This is board of director. Done. What is books of account? As we know that every company have to maintain the books of account so that it can be used as an evidence if any matter will come in front of the court. So books of account include all sums money received and expended by the company, sale and purchase of goods and services, assets and liabilities of the company, item of cost as may be prescribed under this. This is called the books of account. So that can be come in the form of question. What is branch office? Suppose a company is there. Its branches are opening in the various place. That is called branch office. Called up capital. Called up capital means suppose the share has been distributed but the money is not came. So whatever the money that we are calling, that is called the called up capital. Called for the payment. That is called for the payment. That's it. This is important. Done, guys? So this is called up capital. What is charge? Charge is basically, you can see, interest or lien that is created on the property and assets of a company or any of its undertaking, both as security and includes the mortgage. It means suppose charge is basically suppose the lender and the creditor. The lender and the creditor give money to the borrower. So whatever the security that is taken by creditor and the lender, the interest and lien is created on it. This is called charge. This is called class charge. What is charter account? Charter account, as you know, that is the basically a particular post. Chartered account. That is the exact definition is given under the Chartered Accountant, okay, Act 1949. Okay, now the types of companies there. In the types of company, as we can see that company limited by guarantee and company limited by share. So we have already done the types of company. So the company which is limited by guarantee, it means suppose if any company is going to be wind up, okay, if any company is going to be wind up, so in that case what will happen? In that case, that guarantee, suppose X person have given the guarantee of 50 lakh rupees, so only 50 lakh rupees that person is liable. What is company limited by shares? The company limited by shares, whatever the shares that is there, okay, whatever the shares that is there, only that much of whatever, suppose 50 shares he have taken, so the liability will be only imposed of 50 shares. See, this is called company limited by shares. Done. Next, company liquidator. The company liquidator is basically that is appointed by tribunals and appointed by company and creditor, if suppose if it is a case of voluntary wind up. If it is a case of voluntary wind up, then the company and the creditor will appoint the liquidator. What is company secretary? Again, guys, under the Company Secretary Act, this is the post that work in the company. Just like charter accountant, CS is also a post that is in the company. What is court? Court is basically High Court, District Court, Court of Session, Special Court and Metropolitan Magistrate or Judicial Magistrate of first class. So this is the exact meaning of the term court. C class. This is the exact meaning of the term court. Important one. Okay, this is the important. Next, what is debenture? Guys, debenture is a kind of security that company will give as a security and take loan from the bank and financial institution. So that is called debenture. It includes debenture stock, It includes debenture stocks, bonds, any other instrument of a company evidencing a debt. This is called debenture. Okay, what is deposit? Any receipt of money by the way of deposit or loan in any other forum by the company. Okay, directors, that is appointed to the board of a company. Dividends, any interim dividend. So dividend is the profit. What is dividend? That is the profit. What is document? That is also important. Document is basically summon. Summon is the call letter, notice, requisition, order, declaration, register, whether issued, sent. That is the documents. That is the document, guys. Done? This is the document. Next, financial statement. That is important. Financial statement includes balance sheet, profit and loss account, cash flow statement, the statement of changes in equity, any explanatory note. That is called the financial statement. And one thing you have to note down that, see, if we talk about the one-person company, and if we talk about the small company and the dormant company, dormant means sleeping company that is not actively participate in the business, these things, everything will be included, but may not include the cash flow statement. See, may not include the cash flow statement. What is financial year? That is ending on 31st day of March every year, and that is after the first day of January of a year. So from 1st January up to 31st of March of preceding year, that is called financial year. There is a one more calendar year starting from 1st January ending on 31st of December. Right? What is foreign company? The company which is established outside India. That is called foreign company. Government company, the company not less than 51% of the paid up share capital is held by central government. That is called government company. Holding company, the holding company means, suppose Tata company is there and Titan is there. So Tata company have a shares up to more than 50% of Titan company. So Tata company is holding and Titan is the subsidiary company. So this is the basic difference between Tata and this one. Okay. The next one is class key managerial personnel. What is key managerial personnel? As you can see that here, the chief executive officer, the managing director, the company secretary, the whole-time director, chief financial officer, and such other officer. That's include this one. Member, the person who subscribe in writing, and every person holding share of a company. These persons are called share of the company, member of the company. These persons are called member of the company. Okay, what is memorandum? Memorandum is basically that's contain the 6 important clause: name clause, object clause, liability clause, association clause. Then 2 more clauses are there. So in the memorandum, if every company is going to be established, so every company have to fill the memorandum of association. Okay, what is official liquidator? That is appointed under subsection 1 of section 359. One person company in which only one person as a member. What is private company? Private company, as you can see, in which there is a minimum paid up capital 0. There is a restriction on the right to transfer the share. Okay, and limits the member because the maximum is 200 in the private limited company. Maximum 200. That's it. What are promoters? Promoters whose name is written in prospectus, control over the affair of the company, okay, and who shall apply a person who is acting in a professional capacity. This is called promoter. What is prospectus? Prospectus is basically what? The brochure of a company in which the, a future planning of a company is mentioned so that any third party can invest in that company. That is called prospectus. What is public company, which is not a private company? Minimum paid up share capital, 0. Okay. In public company, minimum members 7 and the maximum unlimited. Register of company means register of company maintained by the registrar on paper or an electronic mode. Register, the person who registered the company, and we know that for every company registration is must require. What is share? Share in the share market of a company includes stocks. Small company whose paid up capital is not exceed 50 lakh shall not more than 5 crore rupees. Turnover does not exceed 2 crore rupees and not more than 20 crore rupees. This is your turnover. What is tribunal? National company or tribunal where the disputes of the company is held by the tribunal. The tribunal is the quasi-judicial body, not just like the court. Very good morning to all of you. Welcome to the Officers Adda 24/7, the special session of your BRPL subject in the English medium language. So we are doing the definition terms, right? So today we are going to finish the definition terms of the Transfer of Property Act. But before starting the definition act, so what we have read in the TP Act, and suppose if you have not attended any paid class, so there are few things that you have to remember while covering the definition portion of this act. Okay, so exactly what we have to study in this act. The first one is mortgage, right? The second one is your sale of immovable property. These are the topic that we have to cover in the TP Act, okay? The third one is your lease, and the fourth one is your actionable claim. Actionable claim. Okay, in the mortgage, we also have to focus on the types of mortgage. So those candidates who have not taken any paid batch, okay, so your new paid batch is already started from the 4th of September, in which my subject is going to be start from 22nd of September. So if you want to join this, you have to use the code that is PREP77 for the maximum discount. Okay, so in this act class you have to study these 4 concepts. What is mortgage, what is sales of immovable property, what is lease, and what is actionable claim. So these are the only 4 points that you have to study in the Transfer of Property Act. So as we know that class, the Sales of Goods Act, right? The Sales of Good Act basically deal with the movable property, right? Now deal with the movable property, and this TP Act deal with the immovable property. So this is very important to understand, right? Now let's start with the definition terms. Number 1, what is immovable property? Immovable property that does not include the standing timber, growing crops and grass. So in one way, if we say what is immovable property, so this is basically the property which we cannot transfer by hand by one place to another place. By one place to another place. This is your immovable property. So you can say does not include standing timber. What is standing timber? Suppose a tree is there. If we cut the tree, so the branches, that is known as the timber. So standing timber is a movable property. Growing crops and the grass is the movable property till it is not severed from the earth. Is that okay? So this is the definition of immovable property. That's it. And what is movable property? The property which we can transfer from one place to another, that is called movable property, which we can see, which we can touch. Immovable also, just like land, your house. So these are the example of land, house, example of immovable property. Okay, so I think this definition is clear to all of you. What is immovable property? Now, what is instrument? Instrument means non-testamentary instrument. What exactly this? First of all, instrument is basically the document. What is instrument? That is the document. Is that okay? Done? There's the one word, testamentary. What is testamentary? Testamentary means transfer of property through the will. And when will be executed? When the person will be dead, after dead, when the document will be executed, this is called testamentary. This is called testamentary. And non-testamentary, the basic example of non-testamentary is called, see, example, sale deed, right? Gift deed, sale deed, gift deed, mortgage deed, etc. So this is the example of the term non-testamentary. Is that clear, class? Okay. So just try to understand each word in a very clear manner so that you cannot forget in the future. Okay. Next one. What is attested? You know, when any document is there, suppose if Nikita ma'am is transferring the property to the, Nikita ma'am is transferring the property to the, suppose, Shala ma'am. Right, Shala ma'am? In that case, what will happen? This document will be attested by at least 2 witnesses or more. So what is the requirement of 2 witnesses? So these witnesses are basically the evidence. Okay, these witnesses are basically the evidence which they can say that yes, Nikita ma'am have transferred the property to the Shala ma'am. And if immovable property we are transferring, that cannot be done in a verbally manner. It should be done in the written format. So this is called attested in a simple language. Now, what is written in the this one? In relation to the instrument means shall be deemed always to have meant attested by 2 or more witnesses. This line is important. Guys, this line is important. 2 or more witnesses, not only 2, but at least 2 witnesses, or it can be more witnesses. Okay, each of whom has been executed signed, they have to sign, affix his mark. Suppose that person is not able to sign, he can just thumbprint in the paper, or seen some other person sign the instrument in the presence and by direction of the executant. They have to sign in the presence and direction of the executant, or has received from the executant a personal acknowledgement. Okay, personal acknowledgement of his signature and mark, or the signature of such other person. So this is your what? Attested. So no need to learn everything. So what is the main crux of this attestment is at least 2 or more witnesses are required for this thing. That's it, class. Okay, so this is your complete sentence, that is attestment. Is that okay? Done, guys? Okay, now the next one. What is registered? Register means register in, what is this? Register means register in part of the territories to which this act extend under the law for time being in the force regulation of the registration of document. It means every document, whether it is sale deed, mortgage deed, it have to be registered. This is important. It have to be registered. That's it. This is the main crux of registered. Done? What is attached to the earth? Attached to the earth means the things which is rooted in the earth, which is embedded in the earth, which is attached to what is so embedded for the permanent beneficiary enjoyment. So this is the three things. So just like attached to the earth is basically just like tree, land, it's a pole. So there are so many examples that is attached to the earth. This is called attached to the earth. See? These are very, very much important contents. Very much important contents. Done? Okay, next. What is actionable claim? This topic we have to study in the concept also. Okay, so what exactly the actionable claim is? So guys, actionable claim, in which I can easily say the claim. This is the claim for unsecured debt. Now see what is written here. Actionable claim means a claim to the any debt other than debt secured. What is debt secured? If the borrower have given any property, movable or immovable, as a security, so that creditor and lender is known as the secured creditor and lender. But actionable claim always claim for the unsecured debt. See? So what is written in the theme? That a claim to any debt other than debt secured by mortgage of immovable property or by hypothecation, pledge of movable property, or any beneficial interest in the movable property not in possession. It means we cannot claim actionable claim in this example. See? Okay? So this is your actionable claim. So this topic is important, so you can easily understand, just like your education loan, your personal loan. In these types of loan, we cannot, you can say these are not the secured loan. These are the unsecured loan. So in the unsecured loan, if any person is claiming, that is called actionable claim. Okay? So this is your important topic. Now, what is sale? That is very important. Suppose this is my property. This is a land, right? If Nikita ma'am, Nikita ma'am sell that land to Vinitha ma'am. So what will happen in that case, guys? See, in that case, Nikita ma'am is actually transferring the ownership. ownership to the Vinitha ma'am, and for that Vinitha ma'am is giving for that land 1 crore rupees because the price of the land is 1 crore rupees. So this is called sale, and for that sale it should be in the written form, it should be attested, it should be registered. So these are the important things that we have to do while sale any immovable property. So see what is written here. Sale is the transfer of ownership in exchange for a price. This is the price. Okay, price, paid, promise or part paid and part promise. This is called sale. Yes guys, any doubt? Any doubt class? Hanji class, any doubt in the sale? Okay, so I think that is clear to all of you. Done? Now, what is mortgage? This is your section 58. What is this? This is section 58, which talks about mortgage, mortgager, mortgagee, mortgage money, mortgage deed. Excellent. Okay, so I'm just giving you a very beautiful diagram to understand the term mortgage. Nikita ma'am is there. Nikita ma'am want money from the bank. Bank have given Nikita ma'am 15 lakh rupees, and for that 15 lakh Nikita ma'am is giving the document of the land, because the land we cannot placed from one place to another. So that's why Nikita ma'am will give the document of the land as a security. So this land I have given to the bank as a security. So guys, in that case, you can see here, Nikita ma'am is called mortgager. Bank is called mortgagee. Okay. Bank is mortgagee, Nikita ma'am is mortgager. This is your mortgage money. Okay. And for this mortgage, we require a, this is mortgage deed. This contract should be done in the document. Okay. So this is the complete what? This one. Okay. Now, what is mortgage? Yeah, as you can see, transfer of an interest in specific immovable property for the purpose of securing the payment of money advance or to be advanced by the way of loan, existing or future debt, or the performance of an engagement which may give rise to the pecuniary liability. This is called mortgage. What is mortgager? The transferor is called mortgager. The transferee, that is called mortgagee. Mortgage money, the principal money and the interest which payment is to secure for the time being called mortgage money. It means 15 lakh plus whatever the interest that Nikita ma'am have to give. This is called mortgage money. And the mortgage deed, as you can easily see that, the instrument by which the transfer is effected, that is called mortgage deed. So this is the best example to understand. This is the best example to understand the term mortgage. Okay guys, so I think this is clear to all of you. Done? What is lease? That is also very simple example. Lease is basically, suppose this is the flat. Okay, this is the flat. This flat belong to Nikita ma'am. Nikita ma'am have just give this flat. This is a 4 flat. Okay, number 1, number 2, 3, 4. Nikita ma'am have given this flat to the Suraj sir for the just to stay. So Nikita ma'am is actually given possession. Okay, she actually given possession to Suraj sir, and for that Suraj sir is giving suppose 30,000 as a rent. So this is called class lease. What is the basic difference between lease and license? License is for the particular period. Suppose the driving license for the 10-year, 15-year. But basically lease is for the perpetual period. Suppose if we want to purchase a flat, it is not possible to us to give the 4 crore rupees at a time. So we will just give the EMI. So what is this? If we just started to give EMI, it means that particular owner will give the possession. And when we pay the full price, then the Nikita ma'am is the real owner. So this is called class lease. So lease, you can say, lease of immovable property is transfer of right to enjoy. Suraj sir can enjoy my property. Okay, made for the certain period, express or implied, in perpetuity, in consideration of the price paid, promised money or share of crops, etc. Transferor, Nikita ma'am is leaser, Suraj sir is leasing. Premium, the price. This is your 30,000 is premium, or the money, share, service, whatever, that's the rent. Okay, money, share, service, other things to be rendered, that is called rent. So this is the exact example of the term lease. What is exchange? Exchange is basically when one person give ownership to the another person, and another person is also giving ownership to this person. It means no transfer of price. No transfer of price from one side. X person is giving something, Y person is giving something. This is called exchange under the TP Act. See, when two person mutually transfer the ownership of one thing for the ownership of another, neither things, both things being money, you cannot exchange the money. No. Okay? This is called exchange. And what is gift? Gift is so simple. If this is the immovable property, Nikita ma'am is transferring. Nikita ma'am is giving this property, this land, as a gift to the X person. So gift means X person will give nothing to Nikita ma'am. It is the voluntary decision that Nikita ma'am have done. So gift is the transfer of certain existing movable or immovable property made voluntarily and without consideration by one person. Nikita ma'am is called donor and X person is called donee. Okay, Nikita ma'am is called donor and X person is called donee. So 15 days left in your September, right? October, 31 days, that is for October, and November, that's 30. So in the November you have 26 days, right? Because after that, from 26th of November, your CIB exam is there. So total you have a 72 days left for your exam. 72 days. So in 72 days, just try to follow the step which is given by me. What are the steps that you have to follow? The first thing that you have to do is, please focus on the revision part. focus on the revision part that we have done in the paid class. This is very important. Second one is whatever the question that I am giving you in the session, do the questions. That is important, right? Third, mock paper. That is very important. When you will do these things, you will absolutely score a very good marks in the BRBL subject. So this is very important from the examination point of view also, that you have to follow all these steps. And last, what you have to follow is the YouTube session. In the YouTube session also, we have just done the module wise question, right? And we have done what? Module wise question, and then your definition is going on. After that, in October, we will do the summary of the book and its question, and then after we will do the marathon. So these are the things that we have to do in the YouTube session. So right now, this definition portion is going on. And from the definition portion, it is definitely at least 10 questions come from the definition portion. So that's why this is very important. Okay, guys. So today we are going to do a 2 important act definition. Okay. So first of all, we have to cover. Okay, so this is what? LLP, Limited Liability Partnership. So what exactly this is? LLP is basically the combination of some features of company, some features of what? Partnership. Then is equal to LLP. So LLP is nothing. This is company, partnership, this is LLP. Okay, so this, and this. Please check this. Done, guys? Okay, now let's start with the definition terms. The first is appellant tribunal. What is appellant? In which we can appeal. Suppose class NCLT. What is this? National Company Law Tribunal. If any dispute of LLP, first of all, we have to file the case in the NCLT. And suppose we are not satisfied with the decision of NCLT, then we have to file the case in NCLAT. So what is this? This is the appellant tribunal. This is the higher authority than NCLT. Just like DRT is there, we have to file the case to the DRAT. So DRT to DRAT. So this is also what your appellate tribunal. So this is basically lower than this one. If we are not satisfied with this one, we can file the appeal to the appellate tribunal. Is that okay? So under the LLP Act, what is appellant tribunal? National Company Law Appellant Tribunal. NCLAT is the appellant tribunal of your this one. Okay, next. What is financial year? That is so easy. Financial year is basically that's from 1st of April to the 31st of March. That is the financial year. And what is calendar year? Calendar year is also basically that start from 1st of January to 31st of December. This is your what? Calendar year. So please try to understand, try to revise all the concept. That is important. Okay, now next one. What is foreign limited liability partnership? Foreign. So foreign means that LLP which is registered outside India. That is called foreign LLP. See, Okay, now what is LLP? LLP means the partnership form and registered under the LLP Act 2008. This is the LLP. What is LLP agreement? Just like class, if we talk about the company have a memorandum of association, article of association, that is the important, right? If we talk about the partnership firm, in the partnership firm, partnership agreement, yeah, or you can say the partnership deed. What is this? Partnership deed is important document. Now if we talk about the LLP, so LLP have a LLP agreement. Okay, LLP have a LLP agreement. So what is this? It is the written agreement between the partners of the LLP, and in which what is written? The mutual right and duties of the partners and the right and duties in relation to that LLP, that is given in the agreement. So guys, this is important point. Okay, now what is partner? So partner in LLP is basically any person. Okay, what is this? Any person who becomes a partner in the LLP in accordance with the LLP agreement. जो LLP agreement or whatever the name that is written in the LLP agreement, that is called partner. Important one. Okay, what is registrar? What is registrar? So registrar is basically a person appointed by the central government as a registrar. It means registrar include this one: additional registrar, joint registrar, deputy registrar, assistant registrar. So these are the things that's included in the registrar. C class. Okay, so this is the answer. Now module D. So right now guys, we have just done with the LLP. So just try to understand LLP, what we have read: separate legal entity, just like company. LLP partners have a, suppose if any act, wrongful act is done by one partner, so for that wrongful act, other partners will be not liable, just like partnership. The partnership, this LLP will be liable. LLP also have a perpetual succession. So all these things we have already done. Okay, so now we are going to start the Information Technology Act. Okay, now Information Technology Act 2000. What is this? Information Technology Act, basically the cyber crime, and the next e-commerce. The cyber crime and the next is e-commerce, right? So these things deal with the information technology. We know that in the previous days, when there was a no mobile, no telephone, no laptop, no computer, we just basically deal with the telegram, etc. to communicate. But right now, we all are dependent upon the technology. Technology is no doubt giving us so much benefit, but there are certain drawback also. There are certain drawback also. See? So what are the drawbacks and how to prevent that drawbacks? We are learning the information technology. So in the information technology, the first thing is, what is access? What is this? Access. What is access? See, X person is there. X is using computer. Okay, and that computer is there in what? Suppose X is in India. Okay, now this Y person is there. He is also using computer, and this Y person is in USA. Y person is a very big hacker. So what he have done? Y person just hacked the computer and just theft all the important data that X person kept in his computer. So what is this? The person who is staying in USA, that's access on the computer of India. So this is called access. It means how we can reach. Done, guys. So under this, you can say access is basically what? With its grammatical variation and cognate expression, means gaining entry into and instructing and communicating with the logical, arithmetical, memory function resource of a computer, computer system and computer network. So this is the legal language of the term access. Okay, now next, what is appropriate government? Appropriate government, as you can easily see, that basically the state government and the central government. This is called appropriate government. The state government which make the law, okay, which make the law of the particular state, and the central government that make the law at the central level. What is written in this one? See, before explaining this point, guys, I would like to say Constitution of India 1950, that is a very important law which is known as the father of law also. So this Constitution of India contain articles, this contain schedule, and this contain what? Articles, schedule, and this contain your parts, right? So when schedule, if we talk about the 7th schedule, because that is written here in the 7th schedule, because total 12 schedules are there. So in the 7th schedule, central list, state list and concurrent list. In central list, only central government can make law. In state list, only state government can make law. In concurrent list, only state and center both can make a law. So under appropriate government, you can see that if I just tell you the conclusion, so state government as well as concurrent list, in both the list, the law can be made for the IT Act. Okay, so this subject matter is not only for the central, but it is for the state law also, because it may be possible some state use technology so much, some state not. So that's why. Okay, so this is your appropriate government. Okay, that is appropriate government. Next, what is asymmetric crypto system? Asymmetric crypto system is basically that private key and this is public key. What exactly the key do? Key is basically, you can say, suppose this is a computer, right? In the computer, suppose if I'm saying hi, so this he, that will first of all convert into the, this is the simple language convert into the computer language, this computer language then again convert into simple language, then it will be approached. Suppose he is there. Nikita ma'am is saying he and this is Arun. Nikita ma'am saying he to the Arun. So what is this? The process of converting the language simple into the computer language, this is the work of the key. So this also come in your exam about the private and public. So private key, you have to remember that is basically for the private, creating a digital signature, and public key, verify the digital signature. You have to remember this. You have to remember this one. Okay. Now, what is certifying authority? What is certifying authority? It means a person who has been granted a license to issue the certificate. Just like a normal certificate which is signed by the authenticate person. So that document become a legal document. Same thing, suppose if you people are just filling the CIB registration form. After this, the the admit card or whatever the document that is come, that will call as the certifying authority will sign, and after that will come in your hand. So this is the work of certifying authority. What is digital signature? The signature that you electronically sign, that is called digital. Certificate, same thing. Electronic form, that is online form. This is not a new thing. Okay, and what is private key? We have already done. Private key is used to create digital signature. Public key, that is verify the digital signature. So this is the, your CIB exam is going to be start. So very few days are left. So it's a humble request to all of you. Please focus on the paid batch. No need to refer any other material. Okay, focus on the paid batch. Revise this. Do not forget to attend the YT session. Mock papers are important. Revision of ebooks are important. And please focus on the YT session, because right now we are doing the definition terms, and today we are going to finish the module D, definition terms. So today RTI Act and the Prevention of Corruption Act is left, and rest of all act we have already done from the module D. Okay, so guys, what is Right to Information Act? What is Right to Information Act? That is so simple. We have already done that. What information we can ask from the public authority? What is RTI? That is simply what information we can ask from the public authority, that is called RTI. So RTI is nothing but this is basically the form. RTI is not filing a suit. RTI is basically, if you fill the RTI form, so you are simply asking a question. And for that question, that public authority have to give the reply. So this is the basic thing about right to information. Only it will take 10 rupees. Within 30 days, public authority have to give the information. Okay, within 30 days. And if the question is about life and liberty of the person, so within 48 hours, reply should be come. Okay, so this is the crux of your RTI, right to information. Okay, and today we are going to finish the module D. Right guys, we have already done all the act of module D. Now, what is the first definition term? As you can see that, what is appropriate government? So, appropriate government, in a single term I can say central government, state government. Just try to learn the one keyword of each definition term. Either you can just make a notes of definition term so that you do not have to read all the points. You only have to focus on the important. So, central government, state government, that is the first one. Next, what is Central Information Commission? So, Central Information Commission class, this is the designation. This is the designation class. Central Public Information Officer, what is this? This is also the designation. It also include Central Assistant Public Information Officer. What is Chief Information Commissioner and what is Information Commissioner? It means same class designation, Chief Information Commissioner and Information Commissioner. And I'm just telling you, this Central Information Commission is the second appellant body. This is the second appellant body, that is CIC. Okay, so first of all, we have to complain to the Central Public Information Officer. If we are not satisfied with the decision of this, then we can appeal to the second, and this is the second appellant body. That is important. Got it? And guys, do not forget to like and subscribe the channel of Officer Adda 24/7. And whatever the definition terms which I think that is important, that can become in the exam, I will just highlight that word. Okay, now next, what is competent authority? Very important. Guys, competent authority, that is very important. What is competent authority? Number one is any speaker and chairman of what? As we know that in the parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha is there. What is the work of parliament? They just make the law. So in the Lok Sabha, the head is called speaker. In Rajya Sabha, the head is called chairman. Same thing in the state level. In the state level, legislative assembly is there and legislative council is there. So in legislative assembly, speaker will be there, and in the council, chairman is there. So the competent authority is first speaker and chairman. Got it? Next, Chief Justice of India. Chief Justice of High Court. Okay. Chief Justice of India. These are the competent authority. Competent authority, the president, governor, and administration. So guys, you have to learn this one. These are important. This is also important. Information. What is information, guys? This is important, competent authority, and this is. What is information? So information, what we can ask from the public authority, that is called information. So guys, information means any material in any form, include records, documents, memos, email, opinion, advices, press release, circular, order, logbook, contract, report, paper, sample, model, etc. So these are the information that we can ask from the public authority. This is called information. Got it? Next, what is prescribed? Prescribed means whatever that is mentioned that we have to follow. So under RTI, the prescribed will be always done by the appropriate government and the competent authority. So you know what is appropriate government, that is central government and the state government, and what is competent authority, we have already done. What is public authority? Again guys, very important. Public authority, because whenever we have to ask any question, we can ask only to the public authority. So what exactly the public authority means? Any authority body instituted, established, constituted by constitution. What is guys constitution? Constitution is basically, that is the father of law. What is constitution? That is the father of law. Okay. Any other law which is made by parliament, parliament is the law-making body. Any body which is made by state legislature or by notification, any appropriate government. So guys, when the body is established under these 4 points, so these bodies are called public authority, and from that public authority we can ask the information. In this is the separate point that you have to remember also, that body owned, controlled, substantially financed, non-government organization substantially financed directly, indirectly by the appropriate government. So suppose any NGO is there, any private authority is there, but which is controlled under the control under the appropriate government, so that NGO and private organization also comes under the public authority. Please read the point. Done? Okay, class. Now, the next one. What is record? This is important. Record means whatever the public authority that maintained in their office, that is called record. So record is basically any document, manuscript, file, microfilm, microfiche, it's a facis smile, any reproduction of images embodied in the microfilm, these are the comes under the record. Okay. Now, what is right to information? So guys, right to information means any information that is accessible under this act. Any inspection of work, documents, record. Taking notes, extract, certified copy of documents. Taking certified sample of material. Obtaining information in the form of disk, floppy, tapes, video cassettes, etc. So these are the right to information, and some more examples are also there. First of all, learn these one. It means what kind of information we can ask. So these are the information. We can ask the question in the form of inspection. We can ask the question in the form of notes, that we want notes for this particular thing. So these are the way. Please say this. This is very important, right to information. And at the same point, this is your at the state level. This is your at the state level. What is State Information Commission? State Chief Information Commission. At the state level, whatever we have done in the central level, these are the things in the state level. Suppose in the state level, if the authority, public authority, is not giving information within the particular time, so in that case we can file the case, right? Just like your CIC, that is a second appellant body. In this SIC, that is the State Information Commission, is the second appellant body in that this. Okay. Now for this one, what is the important line? That is third party. What is, guys, third party? Third party means person other than citizen. It means not Indian citizen. It means the person who are outside, who are from the outside India. This is called citizen, plus includes public authority. So public authority, suppose if want any question from the another public authority, so that's also come under this. That is a third party. So this is very, very much important. Okay, guys. This is very, very much important. And guys, do not forget to like the session, and your new batch in the English medium of my class is going to be start from 22nd of what? It's a September. The timing will be 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sorry, yeah, this is the timing. Okay, this is the timing of your new English medium batch, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay, so if you want a quick revision, because this is the selection batch in which your selection is sure, but the condition is that you have to follow the rules which is given by the teachers. Okay guys, now module D, Prevention of Corruption Act. What exactly this want to say? Corruption is basically, why this act is included in this session? Because now in the bank also the corruption is, okay. So in the Corruption Act we have basically just learn about the special judge, okay, the special judge that is appointed under this act. And what is the work of this special judge? To investigate and to give the justice if any person who is under the victim and the witness under the Prevention of Corruption Act. Okay, so now in the public servant, now only one definition is important. Now you will tell me, ma'am, which definition? That is public servant. Only one definition is important, that is public servant and nothing else. Only one definition. So what is public servant under the Prevention of Corruption Act? We will study one by one. So before starting the public servant, the first is, what is election? So election is by whatever means held under any law for the purpose of selecting the member of parliament. It means 2024, as you know that election is going to be held. So this is called election. In the state assembly, okay, in the state assembly which we also call the Vidhan Sabha, whatever election that is going on, that is called this one. So this is basically the selecting the member of parliament, any legislature, local authority. This is called election. Just like in the government colleges also the election held. In the government colleges also class the election held. So this is the exact definition of the term election. Now, what is public duty, guys? What is public duty? So public duty is basically, see, duty in the discharge of which state, public and the community at the large has an interest. It means basically the state, public, community have a large in interest. That is called public duty. That is not the private organization, because for the private organization their basic aim is to profit. But if we talk about the public authority, their basic aim is to do interest in the public at large. This is the basic aim of the, okay, so this is a public duty. Suppose you people are working in a bank, okay, a public bank. So in the public bank you are doing work to the public, right? Now, what is public servant? That is the most important. Okay class, what is public servant? So one by one I will just highlight, because these contain 12 points. So 12 points comes under the definition of public servant. So one by one we will read. What is public servant? Any person in the service and pay of the government and remunerated by this one. Okay, it means service under government, remunerated by government. First point. So you all are working in a public bank, right? So in the public bank, you are remunerated by the government. So you are public servant. Second, any person in the service and pay of a local authority. Local authority, as we know, that also comes under the this one. So 2 points. Next, any person in the service and pay of corporation established under the Central, Provincial and State Act, an authority body owned, controlled by the government and the government company, because as we know that the government company also comes under the government. That's it. Any judge. Judge also called public servant, right? Whether the Supreme Court judge, High Court judge or District Court judge. That's it. Please see the points. Next, any person authorized by Court of Justice to perform any duty in connection with the administration of justice, including liquidator, receiver, commissioner. All are public servant. Just try to learn the name. And public servant definition is important, and it is 100% damn sure. It is 100% damn sure that this word will be come in your exam. Any arbitrator. What is arbitrator? These are the alternative dispute mechanism, just like arbitration, conciliation, lok adalat, ombudsman, tribunal, etc. Right? Next. Any person who hold office by virtue which he is empowered to prepare, publish, maintain, revise electoral roll, conduct election. The person who is under electoral roll, conduct the election, that is called this one. Any person who hold office by virtue he is authorized, required to perform any public duty. I think this definition is very simple. The public servant contains 12 points, but no need to apply because these 12 points you people know. You people know who are the person who are working under the government. So these all are public servant. Next, any person who is president, secretary, other officer bearer, these are what? These are public servant. See? These are public servant. Next, 10. Any person who is the chairman, member, employee of any service commission board, etc. Next, any person who is vice chancellor, member of any governing body, professor, reader, lecturer, any other teacher. That's under the what? Government. That's it. Okay. Next, any person who is the office bearer, employee of educational, scientific, social, cultural, institutional. From today onward, we are going to start the definition terms of your module C. So in module C, first of all, I would like to start this. Okay, this is your SURFACE Act. Okay, this is your SURFACE Act. Many questions, I think 8 to 10 questions come from the SURFACE Act. So that's why this is very important from the examination point of view. One case studies question will be damn sure come from this act. So that's why this is very important for you people. Okay, now let's start the session. SURFACE Act is basically what? Without intervention of the court, how we can recover the money from the borrower. So this is the crux of SURFACE. Right now, so we have seen that in actual SURFACE, X is the borrower, bank, this is the property which he is giving as a security. He is taking money. Suppose if X is not able to pay the money. In this case, if X is not able to pay the money, then bank and financial institution will give security receipt to the ARC company. Then ARC company will search the qualified buyer. So this is the process of this. Hello, money ma'am. Okay. Now, let's start with the definition terms of SURFACE. First is appellant tribunal. What is appellant tribunal? Appellant tribunal is basically, as you can see that, DRAT. In DRT Act, what we have read? In DRT Act, we have read DRT is the tribunal. If we are not satisfied with the DRT decision, we can appeal to the DRAT. So in SURFACE Act also, the appellant tribunal is DRAT. That's it. Okay. Now, what is asset reconstruction? Asset reconstruction. So according to the SURFACE Act, acquisition by any ARC company. What is ARC company? ARC company whose basic work is, first of all, this company registered under the Reserve Bank of India, and the basic aim of this ARC company is to take security receipt from the bank and financial institution and give money. That is the work of ARC company. Okay, so acquisition by any ARC company of any right and interest of any bank and financial institution. This is called asset reconstruction. And the term which is important, I will just highlight it. This is important. This is important. So what is ARC company? See, the company which is registered with Reserve Bank under this one. This is called ARC company. Okay, so these two terms are important. Now, what is bank? You can easily see that in your BRBL, now 70 plus questions come in the way of one-liner. So one-liner question, you can also assume that what kind of questions can become from the definition of the bank. Suppose the 4 option will be there and you have to tick mark which word is under the definition of bank. So the bank include banking company, corresponding new bank, State Bank of India, subsidiary bank, multi-state cooperative bank, or other bank. This is the bank. Done. Banking company, same definition that we have read in the Banking Regulation Act. Clause C of Section 5. Banking Regulation Act 1949. That's it. Okay guys, next definition. What is borrower? Borrower, in a simple word, you can say borrower is a person who take money from the bank and financial institution. That's it now. Now what is written in the definition term? Borrower means any person or a pooled investment vehicle. That thing is defined under which act? These two words are defined under the Securities Contract Regulation Act 1956, which has been granted the financial assistance. Who has been granted? Individual and a pool investment vehicle. You can just call the same thing. So these persons have granted financial assistance by the bank and financial institution, or has given any guarantee and created any mortgage and pledge, because when we take money from the bank and financial institution, so we have to give security. It may be of movable property or immovable property. As security for the financial assistance granted by any bank and financial institution, and include a person who or a pooled investment vehicle which becomes borrower of ARC company. So they can become borrower also of the ARC company. So in a one word, we can say this and this. That is called the borrower. That's it, guys. Do not forget to like the session. Do not forget, guys, to like the session. Do not forget. Okay. What is central registry? Central registry means whatever the security which is given by borrower, that security have to be registered by the central registrar. What is the reason behind it? The central registrar will register the security so that the borrower cannot use that security in the other purpose. That's it. See? Okay? So that's why under the SARSAI Act, which is a part of your SARFAESI, under SARSAI Act, it is the duty of bank or any financial institution to get registered the security which is given by the borrower. Okay? What is company? That is defined in the Company Act. That is defined in the Company Act, guys. This is called company. What is depth? First of all, DRT. Whatever we have covered in the DRT Act. And what is the full form? Full name of DRT Act. The full name is Recovery of Debt Due to Bank and Financial Institution Act 1993. This is your DRT. This is your DRT. Okay. Now, what is depth? Borrower, suppose take 20 lakh rupees. and if borrower is not able to pay the money, so we can say that borrower become debtor, right? So what is debt class C? Debt means unpaid portion of purchase price of any tangible asset. What is tangible asset? The asset which we can see, which we can touch. That is a movable one. Or in this case, any right, title, interest of any intangible which secure the obligation to pay unpaid portion of purchase price of intangible asset. So if these things will be happen, this is called debt. And the debt definition is also given, guys, under the DRT Act. This is very important. This is very, very much important, guys. I think the definition is clear to all of you. If you feel any doubt in the definition, so please let me know. Okay, please let me know. Next, what is financial institution? From financial institution, we just demand money. We just take loan, right? And financial institution takes so much interest, right? So that's why we basically prefer the bank, right? So financial institution means a public financial institution which is specified by central government, international financial corporation established under this, debenture trustee, asset reconstruction company, or any other institution. This is important, guys. So in your question, these 3 options and 4 options will be there, and you have to tick mark which definitions come under the financial institution. Okay, so this is important. Next class, what is hypothecation? That is too much easy. Hypothecation is basically, many students confuse in the definition of pledge and hypothecation. So what is the exact difference between hypothecation and pledge? In pledge, X person is there, right? This is bank. So bank suppose give 20 lakh rupees to this. X person give movable property. Movable property as a security. So under the pledge, guys, the X person have given the possession to the bank. No ownership is transferred. No ownership is, guys, transferred. This is your pledge, right? And the property which is given as a security must be movable. And hypothecation, what is hypothecation? So hypothecation is basically same example, but in hypothecation, basically in purchasing of car, in purchasing of machine, we just take money from the bank. And in that case, no possession is transferred, no ownership is transferred. It means the ownership and possession is remain with the X person. Only document is transferred. Only document is transferred under this case. Is that okay? This is your hypothecation. This is, guys, hypothecation. Because car, machine, suppose if we want to purchase a car, so I think we will use the car, we will use the machine in the day-to-day life. So that's why these things we can use in day-to-day life. So we cannot give it to the bank as a security. So we just give the document. So suppose if Nikita ma'am is not able to give the money, so what bank will do? Bank first of all will take the possession of my car and then after sell my car. That's it. Okay, so this is your hypothecation. Now you can see the definition here. Charge upon any movable property, existing or future, created by borrower in the favor of secured creditor without delivery. So this is important point. What is this? Without delivery of possession of movable property. say this is your hypothecation. Okay, what is negotiable document? Negotiable document, that is a bill of exchange, promissory note, check, etc. comes under the negotiable document. Any doubt, class? Any doubt, class? Okay, that's cool. What is property? Immovable property, movable property, any debt, right, receivable, intangible asset. What is intangible asset? Just like patent, copyright, trademark. So these are the intangible assets. See, copyright, trademark, license, franchisee, that is a property. Okay, this is the definition of property. What is qualified buyer? So just remember the diagram that we have just seen in the SURFACE. Qualified buyer is the last person who just take the secured property from the ARC company, and for that property qualified buyer will give the money. So what comes under the qualified buyer? So for this one, see, any financial institution can become the qualified buyer. Any insurance company, any bank, any state financial corporation, any state industrial development corporation, trustee, any ARC company which has been granted a certificate of registration under subsection 4(3), or any asset management company making investment on the behalf of mutual fund. Okay, any foreign institutional investor registered under this act. Okay, or any non-financial investor. So these are the examples of qualified buyer. It means these can be come and just take the property. Okay, that's it. Or any other body corporate. So these highlighted points are important. Okay, these are qualified buyers. Done. Next, what is securitization? Securitization is acquisition of financial assets by ARC company from any originator, whether raising of fund by such ARC company from the qualified buyer. The qualified buyer will give the money. What are secured creditor? Secured creditor to whom we just take money. So guys, secured creditor consist bank, financial institution, debenture trustee, ARC company can also, we can just take money from this. Debenture trustee, this is appointed by bank and financial institution. This is registered with the SEBI. Any other trustee, or that's it. So this is called secured creditor.